Salutations everybody, it is Matty here today. As most of you were already aware, yesterday was the Great War anniversary for the Fallout franchise, so Bethesda so kindly chose to celebrate with all of us by nuking their own fanbase. It's pretty crazy, right? And so they did this in the form of Fallout First, a subscription service for Fallout 76, including the likes of private servers, a highly requested feature since the beginning of this game's life cycle. On top of that, there were gameplay changing features like a scrap box, which provided unlimited storage for your character, and a survival tent, which made the setting up of your camp a lot more simpler, like pick up and go. This betrayed Bethesda's initial promise to provide only cosmetic microtransactions. They also include in this service 1650 atoms, which requires no effort on Bethesda's part, mind you, because it's just adding a premium currency to your account. And lastly, our emotes, because that's what Fallout is all about. I was originally going to move on from this topic because I don't want to beat a dead horse here. I really popped off yesterday and I kind of thought that'd be the end of it until there was an update from Bethesda, because I'm sure they will respond in some way, shape, or form about this, since even my own YouTube sub box was loaded with videos from all parts of the internet just condemning what Bethesda's doing in what I wouldn't even define as a shameless move, but more so a ballsy move, showing that they're going to double down on their very awkward stance for this game. Now, I also want to make two things clear. Number one is I really want to get back to the Outer Worlds content. I'm super excited for this game, but I will just say this, that please support this game. Let the numbers for the Outer Worlds speak to so many companies, Bethesda included, across the industry, that we want those types of games. It is truly excellent, and I don't say that out of spite. Number two is, if you like Fallout 76 when you're watching these videos, just know I'm not trying to convince you otherwise. Like, I really don't care. I just want to report on stuff. I've been really fair with Fallout 76. I've given my kudos when I felt it was deserved for this game's life cycle, but this is just too far for all of us. And I want to make sure that everyone is aware of what Bethesda's doing, such as releasing Fallout First, but not only that, features in Fallout First a obscenely overpriced program being broken. So we're going to be going from Forbes to Reddit. Both of those will be linked in the description down below. We're starting off with Forbes, where they're talking about private servers, and they say there are a few issues cropping up here. Fallout First players are finding that a newly created world they might be heading into is not actually new at all. Players are reporting dead NPCs and looted areas when they get there, implying that these are not actually new instances, but instead reused old instances masquerading as brand new private worlds. The private aspect is up for debate too. Players with big friends lists, i.e. merchants who sell players goods in the games, are finding that they can't prevent players from joining their private servers, where they just want to relax and play by themselves or with a few friends. Without some sort of invisible mode, other players can see your instance and join it. So yes, this private server thing that a lot of people were really looking forward to isn't all that private, and it's a real shame, because this is the one aspect that I thought could really help Fallout 76 between Wastelanders and private servers. I thought there'd be something good here, because private servers means modding, but now there's a paywall to get into those servers to then mod it, and how many modders are going to pay monthly fees in order to make sure that they can get their mod out for free, right? The beauty of the Fallout modding community, it was like a free circle. Bethesda gave access to the creation engine, and then modders would do it for free, albeit of their own time. That was kind of the investment there, and they would maybe make some money off endorsements or whatever, but outside of that, it was mostly a free cycle all around. But now Bethesda's inserted a paywall right in the middle of that idea, and people are also having their worlds being looted. I mean, look, some people were very much in the mindset that 76 would be good if you could just play by yourself, and now you finally can, and even that's not working. I expected some kinks with that, but I think what's worse is actually what's happening with the scrap box. So for those who aren't aware, the scrap box included inside Fallout 76's Fallout First subscription service actually allows you unlimited storage, which is once again a major complaint that has come from a lot of people since the launch of this game. Remember when we had our stash limited to, I think it was 400 pounds? That's all we could put in there, and they increased it to 600, and they said they were going to see if they could continue to increase it. And they were very transparent about the game accessing the data, and that they were doing that for so many people, so it was different from single player to multiplayer. But now they seem to have found a way to have unlimited storage, and they've reserved it for people who are going to pay them obscene amounts of money. So this post comes from Reddit, from user Ratchets Up. It's gained quite a bit of attention in the last 16 hours. Lost all my scrap and new scrap boxes titled. yes, before you hate on me for paying, I am against it also. That being said, I've waited months to use my auction house and fight club in a private server. I'm also a courier / middleman for trades and transfers, so this update was kind of mandatory for my playstyle. It's the only game I ever play now, so I'm trying for the month. Actually, like, email me. I'll buy you the Outer Worlds, okay? Email me. Seriously, I'm not going to have you sit there and this is the only game you can play. Let me know what you're playing on. I'll hook you up. Seriously. Holy crap, man. Anyway, my buddy was telling me how the scrap box works, so I place one on my own private server and fill it with all of my bulks and junk for sale. 400 pounds free in my stash and all junk and flux in the scrap box. I hop to his private server and hang out at his camp while I wait to help a trade. Noticing that I couldn't hold bulks, he tells me he just broke them down. So I do the same and I put them in my scrap box. I leave to go help the trade. Then in that adventure world, notice I have no scrap to mod a weapon. I figure I have to pull it out of the scrap and put it in actual stash, but scrap box is empty. I head to my own private server and it's all gone. Adhesive, ballistic fiber, flux, acid, oh, the vault steel. Even head back to his and try and his box is empty. Too long didn't read, don't use anyone else's scrap boxes until bugs are sorted. Edit, be cautious putting anything of value in there yet. And there was also an update, a ticket was submitted, and unlike when my Strangler heart armor never returned to inventory, they have asked for my gamer details and proof of day one purchase. I will update when I hear back. So this very much is a story in progress in the terms of Bethesda may restore all of their scrap, but ultimately I just can't help but, like, if you're gonna charge people this much, right, at least make sure it works. So that the fans, the absolute diehards, the people who love Fallout 76, who just don't mind paying for this stuff. It's their own choice. We're not going to tell consumers where they can and can't spend their money. But if you're going to do this to them, at least just try to treat those remaining fans that are there engaging in the game, forgiving you for everything, including this. At least try to treat them right. You know, don't take them for granted, because somehow 76 still has consistent players, yet Anthem is totally dead in the water. It's really baffling to me. I think it's because of the community. I've always said this, Fallout 76 has a really good community. The people in there are super nice. You can always engage with them in a positive manner. It's a really welcoming community, but you know, this type of stuff happens, and I don't know why anyone wants to let Bethesda just continue to take advantage of them. It's really frustrating seeing these features being broken. I'm sure it's not going to be the only broken features in this, but I also want to get into something a little hilarious to wrap all this up. So when Bethesda got Fallout First and they made the announcement, they never obtained the domain for falloutfirst.com. So someone created the website and completely rebranded Bethesda's initial Bethesda.net post. And it's actually hilarious. Now, Bethesda, I believe, took down the website because when I went to go search it, it was no longer there like it was last night. But ultimately, I just had to talk about this, right? I want to talk about the Outer Worlds so much. I have discussions, guides, so many videos planned for that game that it's actually sickening. But when this type of stuff arises, this is where you just got to put those games back for a second and be like, look, this is where our industry is heading, because as if it could not get worse, Bethesda announced the acquisition of another company. And when I saw the name, I was like, who the hell is this? And it turns out it's a mobile gaming company to expand their iOS and Android initiative. And I'm just like, dude, someone buy the Fallout license from these people. Like, they are going down fast. Well, I shouldn't say they're going down. They're probably making a lot of money with what they're doing. But it's like a Konami type of situation where they're just going all in on mobile, anything that can make them money. They're disregarding the legacy of their IP. They don't care about the artists who work very hard to create them. And that's also what's frustrating, man. Like, I'm friends with a decent amount of people at Bethesda, and they are such good people. They work really hard. I don't think the people who work on the games are bad or lazy or anything like that. It's just these overhead decisions clearly that are absolutely screwing them. And it's got to be so hard to be working at Bethesda at this point in time, or Blizzard, of course. I mean, holy smokes, man. I feel bad for some of the artists just working on Fallout 76. It's got to be tough. It's got to be tough. So, you know, big love to those people. I know who they are. I know they work hard despite the IP and the decisions being made without their say-so. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I really don't want to continue talking about this, so hopefully this will be the last of it and Bethesda can just make a change. I'm sure we'll have at least one more video on this when Bethesda does respond, so keep that in mind because I think it's inevitable. It's been drawing so much outcry that I think that's their only option, is to announce some changes for this service. So I would expect some of this to change. We'll see what they do, but I think their biggest issue is just modeling too closely the ESO. Not just because ESO is a better game, but more so because ESO's gameplay features match the ESO Plus a lot better than Fallout 76's could have. So it almost showed that whoever constructed this membership program had a lack of knowledge about both these games. But anyway, I'd love to hear from you guys. What do you think of the latest update for Fallout? First, fire away in the comments down below. Other than that, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram. Those links are in the description down below, along with my Patreon. Do consider supporting that, as it fuels all the content I create here. Stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.